This is the growth strategist Aldonna Ambler sharing your growth strategy tip of the week. Today I'd like to share some traits I've observed of presidents, CEOs of successful mid-sized companies. Now, I've been interviewing on a weekly basis presidents of mid-sized companies. I'm in my 8th year doing my syndicated online show, and it's peer-to-peer-to-peer. So it's wonderful. It's fun. I admit it. And one of the things I've noticed is that there's some traits of the individual people. There's a commonality in their answers sometimes. And I thought I'd share my observations with you. I mean, these are the people who, they haven't let the recession slow them down. And it's not surprising that, their companies appear on the lists of the fastest growing, businesses out there. And, not surprisingly, again, a number of them appear on the list of the best places to work. See, it's a lot more fun to work in a company that's going somewhere, that's trying to innovate, that focuses on the customer needs more than the preferences of the owners. That right there, that's one of the traits. Let me give you some examples of what I'm talking about. And if you're curious to see what I mean, go to the archive that has over 300 downloadable shows from the last 8 years. And it is at www.thegrowthstrategistshow.com. They're all free. You can see what I'm talking about. You can sort it by growth strategy, industry, geographic location, guest. There's lots of ways to sort. And so anyway, the first one I want to tell you about is Ben Bauman. He's the CEO of Bolt Express. Now, Ben is, to me, he's a serial entrepreneur, and I think he's a little addicted to challenge. I mean, they've chosen the impossible to be their primary strategy. They want to go after the impossible and make it and do it anyway. They're like the Mission Impossible team for the transportation industry. You can almost hear the music, the theme song in the background as he's talking. Can you imagine, the more mission critical a transportation task is, the more they would want it. They've really ramped up their technology and tracking to optimize and stop the bottleneck that ends up at border crossings. That's pretty exciting. When a manufacturing plant looks like it might be at the risk of being shut down if a few components or equipment and replacements don't show up fast, they're calling on this company. And of course, it would be Ben Bauman's company that's doing daily payroll. But that's sinking. And then there's dialogue marketing. Now, I've had the honor to be able to interview both Alejandro Vargas and Peter Schmidt from that company. Can you imagine how Peter Schmidt must have felt in August of 2001? He leaves his lucrative Wall Street investment banker position. He's now a new owner of a fairly traditional company, a call center. And some of his first days on the job were with sobbing employees as the 2 World Trade Center towers came down. Can you imagine? And what about Alejandro? He comes in as the new CEO of a business that's going from 5 million down to 2, past 3. Wow. Now, they both understand how to reposition a low-price traditional vendor into a premium, real strategic partner. They know how to do that. And both of them claim that, their commitment to a balanced scorecard and continuous commitment to innovation is what helps them grow. And they're at 40 million now, a little different than where they were. Or take Julie Hallstrup. She's the managing partner at the Telesto Group. Now, she and her partners have lifted that company from sub to prime in record time. She credits their dedication to consistent follow-through and honesty for their rapid growth. Now think about it. The U.S. Department of Defense relies on the Telesto Group, and they have a choice of an awful lot of vendors for their multiple location SAP installations, training, and upgrades. Not every IT CRM company gets that chance. They made that chance. I'm going to repeat it. They went from sub to prime in record time. So there's always times that you and I as business owners get reflective. And you start asking yourself, are you doing the right things at the right time in the right way? All that kind of stuff, the 6 rights. But people like Bauman and Vargas and Schmidt and Hallstrup kind of remind us that some of the shared traits of the truly successful people is that they attract bright team members. They embrace the new technologies And they're always looking for new ways to wow their customers and focus less on their own preferences. This is the growth strategist, Aldonna Ambler, with your growth strategy of the week.